Nobody cares the way you do. Not about your dreams, your fears, or your pain. And that's not cruelty, it's clarity. The sooner you stop waiting for others to save you, the sooner you start saving yourself. This is where Stoicism begins, not with applause, but with ownership. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations to impress the world. He wrote them to keep himself aligned. The Stoics understood one thing: when you stop performing for others, you start becoming who you were meant to be. No audience. No validation. Just purpose. Marcus himself admitted, we all love ourselves more than others, yet we care more about their opinions than our own. That's the trap. The Stoics didn't seek validation, they sought virtue. True strength isn't found in how others see you. It's forged in silence, when no one is watching. The modern world floods us with noise, opinions, and endless applause. But Stoic wisdom cuts straight through. You don't control what people think, you only control how you live. And when you take full ownership of your mind, your choices, and your path, you become unshakable. Pillar 1. Nobody is watching as closely as you think. Most people live as if the world is staring at them. Every move, every word, every post, judged. But the truth? People are too busy with their own chaos to notice. Your life is not a performance. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, don't waste time worrying about what others do or think. Focus on what you control. The anxiety you feel before acting is usually rooted in imaginary eyes. You think you're being watched, but in reality, you're being ignored. And that's freedom. Because when no one's watching, you can stop performing and start building. You don't need likes to take action. You don't need applause to live with integrity. The real work happens unseen, that's where character is formed, and where self-respect is earned. Ask yourself, if no one ever knew I did this, would I still do it? That's the difference between a performer and a builder. Choose to build. Pillar 2. Entitlement destroys growth. You are not owed support. Not because you tried, not because you hurt, not even because you exist. That may sound harsh, but it's liberating. Epictetus said, don't wish for events to happen as you want. Wish for them to happen as they do, and you'll live in peace. Stoicism doesn't expect comfort. It prepares for discomfort. Entitlement whispers, you deserve better. Stoicism answers, earn better. The world owes you nothing. So when it gives you nothing, don't collapse, build. The absence of help isn't injustice. It's a test. A challenge. An invitation to grow. When you release entitlement, you stop waiting and start working. You stop complaining and start creating. And everything you build from zero, every obstacle you overcome without applause, that becomes the unshakable foundation of your life. Pillar 3. Own the one thing you truly control. You don't control the economy. You don't control your past. You don't control other people's opinions. But you do control your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In today's world, we protect our passwords more than our peace. We defend our image more than our inner world. But the Stoic knows, everything begins in the mind: clarity, discipline, character, peace. If your mind is weak, your life will collapse under pressure. But if your mind is trained, you can face anything with composure. Ownership means questioning your thoughts, controlling your reactions, and treating your attention as sacred. Because if you don't lead your mind, someone else will. And once you reclaim it, you realize you don't need to control the world, you just need to master yourself. Key practices. The 10-second rule: before reacting, pause. Breathe. Let emotion pass. One pause can prevent 1,000 regrets. 1 hour of solitude, no phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. The person who can sit in silence becomes unshakable in the crowd. No comparison hour, take 1 hour off social media. Track your own progress, not someone else's highlight reel. Nobody's watching as closely as you think. And that's not something to fear, it's freedom. When you stop performing, you start building. When you stop chasing validation, you start cultivating character. That's the Stoic way. You don't need applause to be disciplined. You don't need recognition to be strong. And you don't need anyone's permission to begin. So ask yourself daily, what did I become today? Not what I achieved. Not who approved. But who I became, stronger, wiser, clearer. That's the only scoreboard that matters. If this message speaks to you, subscribe. Because here, we don't chase empty motivation, we train the mind. In a world full of noise, we build direction. In a world full of distraction, we build discipline. So drop a comment, I take full ownership of my life. Let that be your commitment. Remember, maybe the world isn't watching. But you are. And that's more than enough.